Hello guys and welcome to the video. This is part 5 now of the Necromancer update on the PTR. There was a new PTR patch that was pushed yesterday and there's a lot of changes, guys. A lot of changes to skills, passives and legendaries for the Necromancer, man. So let's go straight into it. Necromancer skills: Bone Prison, Bone Spear, Bone Spikes and Bone Spirits. Now I have a 30% chance to trap enemies in Bone Prison for 3 seconds. Was 10%, so 20% increase there. Bone Spear. This skill should now reliably hit targets, especially moving targets. It's true, actually. It used to miss quite a bit, so that's a good change there. Command Skeletons Kill Command. Your skeletons to explode. Dealing was 80. Now 215 weapon damage to enemies within 15 yards. Holy shit! That is a major buff, man, to Kill Command. Basically, it's one that basically makes them explode. It's a very cool rune. It wasn't dealing too bad damage pre-patch, so 215 is quite a substantial upgrade. Interesting, man. Exploding skeleton build, guys, Inc. Corpse Explosion base rune has changed. Target an area exploding all corpses within 11 yards. Dealing, it's gone from 150 to 250. Now it's 350 now. Weapon damage to all enemies within 20 yards now, guys. It's up to 350 now on the base Corpse Explosion base rune. Corpse Lance, guys, got a major buff. Base rune, yeah, listen to this. Target an enemy to summon projectiles from nearby corpses. Their cause was 750 to 900, now 1,750 weapon damage to his target. And also, the attack rate of all the runes has been increased as well. But bloody hell, guys, Corpse Lance, man, major buff. So you're probably going to see a viable build for that now. Okay, guys, we all know this was going to happen. Skeletal Mage Contamination. No, the little fart mages, because I had too much curry. Those little fellas. Ray Contaminated Mage that channels an Aura Decay was 175, now down to 100% weapon damage for its duration. I know what you're thinking, they've nerfed it. It's crap. It's not crap, don't worry. There's other buffs a bit further down that balance it out a lot more, so don't worry about it. It's still going to be good. It's still going to be good. It's just going to be balanced out a bit more. But we knew it was going to come because it was OP. Necromancer passive, guys, Blood for Blood. Picking up a health globe removes the health cost of the next blood spell. This effect can stack up to now 10 times, not 3 times, 10 times. It's a major buff there. That is nice, I like that. 10 attacks, that's crazy. Dark Reaping. While using a scythe, gain now 2 essence per life per kill, up from 1%. Serration. Bone Spikes, Bone Spear and Bone Spirit deal 1% increased damage for every 2 yards between you, up to a maximum now of 20% now. It's got up 5%, man. That's kind of a big buff right there. It's very nice, especially because of the Bone Spear buff. It's crazy. Okay, guys. So I know what you're thinking about earlier about the Skeletal Mage Contamination rune being nerfed by 75%. It is quite a major nerf, but don't worry. Listen to this. Bug fixes. Fix an issue where damage bonuses from the player's attack speed were not being applied to the Skeletal Archer and Contamination runes on the Skeletal Mage. So pretty much that balances quite a big chunk of that out straight away. All this time, the attack speed bonus, damage bonus wasn't applying to Archer and Contamination mages. So that's why they brought it down, because if they just left it as it was and put that fix in, it would have been more OP. It would have been crazy OP. It was already super strong without the attack speed buff, so that's why they balanced it out a bit. Fix an issue that caused Siphon Blood to continue to deal damage to enemies that were invisible or untargetable. And fix a bug where Devour, or Ruthless, did not correctly restore 10 essence per pet consumed. Oh, roger. Okay, guys, so legendary changes. A lot of legendary changes here. Let's go straight into it. Legendary items. Trag'Oul's Corroded Fang. The Cursed Scythe rune for Grim Scythe now has a 100% chance to apply a curse and increases your damage against cursed enemies by 175 to 200%. That's nice, man. That is very nice. 200% sweet. Okay, guys, so Dread Golem's Spike is now being renamed to Meritorious Petrified Spike. Bone Spear now costs 40 essence and is now going from 125 to 150 to 375 to 450% additional damage. With that change above, it's going to make Bone Spear extremely strong now. Very strong. Holy shit. Blood Tide Blade changed, guys. Death Nova used to be 15 to 20%, now it's 20 to 30% increased damage for every enemy within 10, gone up to 15 yards now. Note, the previous damage range listed 125 to 150 was incorrect, so they've corrected it now, but bloody hell, that is pretty sweet. Rania's Shadow Hook. Bone Spikes generates additional, was 2 to 4 now, 2 to 5 essence for each enemy hit, and grants a 0.5 increased damage for every point of maximum essence you have. Ooh, that's nice. I like the sound of this, man. So you can stack some essence and get some more DPS into you. That's quite nice actually, I quite like that little change there, it's pretty cool. Okay guys, Death's Scythe is now recalled Naya's Black Death. Each different poison skill you use increases the damage of poison skills. Was 75 to 100%, it's now 50 to 65% for 15 seconds. This weapon was really OP with Contamination Mages. I can understand why they've nerfed it, because it was really strong, like really strong. But don't worry about the pet stuff, guys. It's a bit low. That makes it a bit better, man. Don't worry. Spear of Jara now, used to be called Spear of Jesseth. Your thorns is increased by 10 to 50% for every enemy afflicted by one of your curses. Ooh, that's interesting. Iron Rose change, guys. Attacking with Siphon Blood no longer is while at 4 health. Now has a 40 to 50% chance to cast a free blow nova. So basically, this only worked last time while you're at full life. So now they've changed it so it's just when you generally attack, you get a 40 to 50% chance to cast a free blood nova. So that's actually pretty fucking cool. Iron Rose, good change there. The Johnstone. Major change to this. Okay, so what it used to do is each corpse consumed in Land of the Dead increase your damage by 10% for 8 to 10 seconds after it ends. That's now gone. Now it's each corpse consumed in Land of the Dead grants a stack of Macabre Knowledge. Macabre Knowledge increases the damage of Corpse Lance and Corpse Explosion by 150 to 200% while outside Land of the Dead. Now with those other changes we saw above, this is going to make this very strong with the Johnstone. Very nice, man. So Corpse Lance especially is going to wreck. It's going to wreck. Rec Room Sorry Plate, man, that chest plate. Devour restores an additional 75 to 100% essence and life. In addition, when Devour restores essence or life above your maximum, the essence is granted over 3 seconds. Very cool change there. Fate's Vow. Okay, what this used to do, after consuming 15 to 20 corpses, you unleash a free Death Nova. Not that great. Now it does this. Army of the Dead gains the effect of unconventional warfare runes, so they swapped some stuff around. And that's a nice change there, because it wasn't that great though, so that's a good change there. Moribund, no, guys, this is a very good change. Moribund Gauntlets, basically the Golem Gauntlets. It used to do this. It used to your golem had a 10 to 15% chance to shred a corpse when it's hit by an enemy. Not too bad. Now it's your golem now sheds a corpse every second. That is much better for corpse, especially on Rift Guardian fights where you need regular corpses to keep power up and you have the DPS and stuff. So this is a really good change. Really good change to actually use the golem now, because the golem hasn't been that great. This is actually, a good change to actually use the fella now. Every second, a corpse every second, that's fantastic. Imagine an army you can have up all the time now using this fella, it'd be fantastic. Golem Steam Breaches. Your golem's damage increased by 100 to 124%. You take now 30% less damage while it's alive. Okay, so they basically got rid of the, you've got to be close to the golem so you have the damage reduction. So they upped it now by an extra 5%, and it's now, completely open now. You don't have to be next to the golem. That's a very good change again. Another reason to use the golem there for defense and corpse generation. Bryna's Journey. Bone Spikes now has a 20 to 30% chance, up from 10 to 15, to cast a Bone Nova at the target. Nice, it's just big AoE basically, so that ups it now to 20 to 30%, much better, because it was too low last time on my testing. They need binding, man. Okay, guys, what did this used to do? Decrepify gains additional 20 to 30% damage reduction for attacks against you. Okay, which isn't bad, but they've changed it now. You gain an additional 40 to 50% damage reduction when there's an enemy afflicted by your Decrepify. That's a really good change. That's much better, because the Necro, especially as a pet user, is very squishy. Very squishy, so that's a good change there. The Cycle, how the hell you say that? That's Julian's, isn't it? Yeah, Julian. The Cycle of Julian's Evolve. It's Julian's love, mate. Can't believe you got your name there, it's awesome. You now raise an additional skeleton mage with each cast, and they last an additional 2 to 4 seconds, man. I'm pretty sure that's this. Oh no, it's 2 to 4 seconds now. So it used to be a guaranteed 4 seconds, isn't it? So that's a slight change there. As far as I know, anyway. Crispin Sentence, man. What's this doing now? You deal 75 to 100% increased damage against slowed enemies, or triple this bonus against enemies afflicted by any other type of control pairing effect. So last time it used to be damage against stunned, frozen, charmed, feared, or blinded. Any control pairing effect. So straight away, basically, that will work with a Bane of the Trapped, won't it? That will work straight away with Bane of the Trapped. That's actually a very good change there. Sweet. That's a lot of damage increase as well. Corpse Whisper Pauldrons. Corpse Lance damage is increased. Was 15 to 20, now to 25 to 30% for 3 seconds each time you consume a corpse. Maximum is now 20 stacks. Was 15, was 18, now it's 20 stacks now. 20 stacks there. Lovely. Okay, guys, my favourite set so far for the Necromancer, the Bones of Rathma, aka the pet set. I love this set to pieces, but Blizzard, please, please increase the damage reduction in this set to around about 3%. Because if you're pushing GRs, man, you need what, at least 150 to do 90 plus most of the time. It's like a general rule of thumb. Yeah, 1% isn't that much. I know you got that new belt, the Decrepifier stuff, but you just need some more general damage reduction as a flat whole, because it's really, really annoying. Yeah, I love the set to pieces. It's really, really fun, but as a pet player, being one-shot by trash and all that white trash in 90s, because there's just not damage reduction in the actual base set itself, is really frustrating. Look at Zuni Master, for instance, you know, 3% damage reduction per fetish, you know, that's much, much stronger. We need something like that, please. You know, bring it up to about 3%, and that way we can use the other stuff in the build a lot easier. You know, if it's a paid DLC character, then we don't want to be frustrated as soon as we play it and die into white trash when you know, GR, just by 5 cents, man, my 5 cents. Okay, guys, so class set Bones of Rathma, 2-set bonus. Your pets have a chance to reduce the cooldown of armor dead by 1 second each time they deal damage. That is the same. 4-set bonus is still the same. 1% damage reduction each time, so basically up to 50% damage reduction there. I would really like to see that up to 3%. 6-6 bonus, guys. Each active skeleton mage increase the damage of your minions and army of the dead was 200, now 250. So that's to make up for the contamination mage nerf slightly. So you got an extra 50% there. So like I said, that with the attack speed buff now, it's going to balance out, man. But I really do love the pet set, man. I love this set. Just needs that extra damage reduction. Okay, guys, next setup is Trag'Oul and Grace Avatar, 2-set bonus. Blood Rush gains the effect of a rune, that is the same. 4-set bonus. While at full life, your healing from skill is added to your maximum life for 45 seconds, up to 100% more. Okay, guys, so the 6-set bonus is being completely changed. And I mean completely changed. You used to do all this here, man. Now, it's just this. Your life spent attacks deal 3,300% increased damage, but cost twice as much life. Your healing from skills is increased by 100%. So they got rid of all this. Oh, there goes the Goblin Heist in the background. That must be Freeman. So they got rid of all this here, and they just put your life spent attacks out 3.3k. That's massive, absolutely massive. So it'd be interesting to see what we could do with this. Grace of Anara set is next. Bone Armor's damage is increased up to 1000% now. 4-set bonus. Bone Armor stacks are now refreshed. In addition, Bone Armor grants an additional 2% damage reduction per enemy hit. Bone Armor is pretty much in all the major builds now because it's just a great skill. 6-set bonus though, guys. This is where it gets interesting now. Bone Armor also activates a Bone Tornado, damaging by enemies for now 750 weapon damage, up from 375. Per second, as it doesn't say physical anymore, the physical is now gone. Enemies hit by the tornado was 850, now is 2,750 additional damage from the Necromancer abilities and minions. So you don't have to use the Bones of Rathma to play a pet board. You can play the Grace of Anara, aka the Bone set, to actually play a pet set. It won't be as strong, but it definitely will work, and it would be more tanky as well. So I'm definitely looking towards this if Blizzard don't fix the damage reduction on the 4-set bonus of the Bones of Rathma set. Lovely. Okay, so what's next, guys? Pestilence Master Shroud. Okay, 2-set bonus. Each corpse you consume fires a corpse lance at a nearby enemy, dealing 800% weapon damage. Okay, now bear in mind the major changes they've done to that other stuff above as well, so it's going to hit really fucking hard now. 4-set bonus. Each enemy hit by Bone Spear reduces your damage taken by 2%, up to a maximum 50%, lasts 15 seconds. That's not too bad. Again, I would like to see this at least double, guys, even tripled if I'm honest for GR push. Because, like I said, you know, if it's a paid DLC character, you don't want to buy this character and just die all the time in GR and be frustrated. Because we've all played glass cannon builds to death in Diablo 3. So it's kind of nice to feel that the Necromancer is a bit tanky, not just a squish. You know what I mean? Not a big ultimato sort of thing. Lovely. 6-set bonus. Each corpse you consume grants you an empowered Bone Spear charge. Now this is crazy. They increase your damage was 1,000%. Now 3 grand. 3,000%, guys. Up 2,000%. And this effect stacks up to, was 30, now 100 times! If you can get this stacked up, my god, you're going to absolutely shred it. And of course the mechanic has changed as well for Bone Spear, so it's hitting the targets much easier now, so, you know, that is pretty sweet, man. That's a really good change there. I look forward to testing this out. Okay guys, Jurion's arms are now renamed to Jesseth's arm. It's a 2-set bonus, the shield and the scythe. And what it used to do was Arm the Dead gains the effect of the unconventional warfare mode. They swapped that to another legend, as we saw above. But now it does this. When the target of your command skeleton dies, your skeletons are automatically commanded to attack a nearby target. So since they're dead, man, they're straight back onto that target. They're going to go. You don't have to keep spamming it. Also, while your skeletons are commanded to attack a target, all of your minions deal 400% increased damage. That is a major change, because basically this it's a green set, basically a two-part green set, weapon and shield. It wasn't really used mostly. You know, now with the contamination nerf for the mages and stuff, this is a major way to get it back up there, sort of thing. So I'll be definitely checking this out now. You know, because on the pre-patch it was always a different combo sort of thing, but now we actually got, this is actually worth using now. It's actually worth using. 400% increased damage for all minions. That's revives, everything. Contamination, skeletons, golem. That's massive. That's a huge buff, and I'll definitely be looking at now Jesseth's arms into my build. Okay, guys, now this is a major change. Legendary gems, Zia's Stone of Vengeance. When a pet deals damage with this gem equipped, bonuses are now always granted from the player to the enemy instead of the pet to the enemy. Okay, so right now in live, it's always from the pet to the target. So basically, you could use Zia's Stone of Vengeance in a pet build, but now you can in the next patch. This is a major change here for Spirit Barrage, even Carnival to a certain extent. So yeah, ranged pet builds are it, guys, and you'll be able to use Zia's Stone of Vengeance. And also, it stuns on the second part of the gem as well, so you can proc Ancient Path of Defender's Braces, for instance, to get that damage reduction off that range. That'd be a nice way to keep the Necro alive. So that is a major change there, and I'll definitely be looking to trying to test this out. Very nice. Bug fixes, guys. Fix an issue which prevented damage stacks on Bone Ringer from being preserved if command skeletons was used again on the same time. Oh right, I didn't realise that was a bug there. Cool. Bounties. Oh, they're done. PTR only. Several bounties in the Realms of the Fate have had their changes to objectives, along with the changes to order of the objective completion and bounty text. Okay, just a little test there. Achievements. Terror and Blood now requires the player's health to be at 10% or below instead of 9% or low. And a few more bug fixes. First, fix the bug that causes Snake Classy, Upper Class, and Classic Collection achievements not to be rewarded correctly for the 4 Necromancer sets. Fix the bug preventing the Terror and Blood achievement from triggering once the criteria was met and Diablo was defeated. Fix an issue that was preventing the use of command skeletons properly, giving credit to Skeleton Crew achievement when elite and champion packs were killed. And Skeleton Mage, guys, has had its fire damage reduced slightly. How much, though? How much is slightly? 5%? 10%? How much, man? I need some numbers. And there you go, guys. That is all the patch notes, man. A lot of interesting changes. The Contamination Skeleton Mage nerf, but again, a lot of buffs as well with some of the other abilities, so it kind of evens itself out. But guys, what do you think, man? What do you think? Put your comments below. As usual, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I'll see you in another one, guys. And have fun in Sanctuary. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Whoop, 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 whoop.